Now, in your 2016 campaign watch, results for the Gem State's Democratic Caucus are slowly rolling in. There are 27 delegates up for grabs. Bigger numbers of participants than ever expected have slowed things down. In Idaho's biggest caucus, which is in Ada County, the voting's been delayed by 2 hours because they waited for everyone that was there in line by 7 o'clock to get into the door. So at this time, Idaho as a whole has absolutely nothing to report, but we do have some local county numbers coming in. The voter turnout for the Democratic Caucus in Bonneville County has been really impressive. I mean, this is such a red county, and that's where we find Chris Nessman. And Chris, I understand maybe some numbers are starting to trickle in. You had a big crowd there.
Yeah. Carol, we do have some numbers. In fact, our final numbers are there were 853 votes for Bernie Sanders versus 217 votes for Hillary Clinton. So Sanders won by a very large margin. Now, you take a look right behind me right now. They're still going through the voting of the actual delegates, and it was overall just a really busy turnout. There was a large majority, but like I mentioned earlier, the Bernie Sanders Club had a lot more people than the Hillary Clinton group, but there were a small group of people who were undecided, and for them, it all comes down to the platforms and what the individual candidates stand for.
I was just really trying to learn what are the points that the pro-Hillary people have, what are the points that the pro-Bernie people have, and I was going to make my decision out of those.
All right, now, like I said again, Bernie Sanders won in Bonneville County by a fairly large margin. If I did my math right, it should be somewhere around 78–79%, so it was significantly more than Hillary Clinton. As far as Bannock County, though, well, I'll toss you over to DJ, who's down there. Now, DJ, I know you guys had a big turnout just like we did in Bonneville County. How are things looking right now?
Sanders won here in Bannock County with nearly 79% of caucus goers. Clinton had a little bit more than 20%. Things were very delayed here. People were still coming in around 7:30, and sub-caucus speakers didn't even start speaking until around 8:20. Now, Sanders supporters were here, and you couldn't miss them. They took about half of the room. There was even a number of shouting matches between Sanders camp and Hillary Clinton camp. I ran into a lot of first-time caucus goers tonight, who are feeling the passion from this year's campaign.
You know, he's been on the right side of history so far, from the civil rights movement on up, and he's the first person that I felt like I could support to actually bother to take part.
I believe in Hillary. I believed in Hillary 8 years ago. I still think a woman should be given the opportunity to try.
Things are winding down here. They're starting the delegate election process for the county. Live at the Shoshone Bannock Event Center in Fort Hall, I'm Dennis Valera.
Okay, thank you, Dennis. Appreciate your work there. So 2 counties in the state for Bernie Sanders. And as far as some of the other big counties like Ada County, we may not know till 1:30 in the morning. Who knows? Because their lines were so big and their caucus is so large. Now, they call this Western Tuesday. 2 other states had really huge voter turnout tonight. Arizona, 85 delegates at stake. Hillary Clinton claiming a huge victory there tonight. All major media outlets have projected that she has won the Grand Canyon state with 60.6% of the vote. Sanders only received 36.9%. 75% of the vote is in there. To Utah now, the Democratic Caucus. Polls haven't even closed there yet, so no results are available. And, of course, we will bring them to you as soon as we get them, and keep checking our website, localnews8.com. In continuing coverage, the Republicans also had a big night in 2 of the western states. In the Arizona primary, 58 delegates at stake. Donald Trump coming out on top, projected to win with 45.9% of the vote. Cruz comes in second with 21.6%, and Kasich in third with 10.2%. 60% of the vote in at this time. And in Utah, again, numbers have not been released. We have no numbers from Utah. Staying on the campaign